Good morning, class. Today we're going to be covering space, the element of art of space. The element of art of space, of design of space, refers to the area within, around, above, or below an object or objects. So let me repeat that. Space refers to the area within, around, above, or below an object or objects. It is important to create in creating and understanding both two-dimensional or three-dimensional works of art. I'll write this for you guys. Please write this in your notebooks under the area that says space. So again, it is important to creating and understanding both two-dimensional just 2D or three-dimensional, aka 3D works of art. So now what I'm going to do is in your sketchbook, according to the pages that I indicate in your assignment, you are going to just create a little vocabulary of space and the idea of space. What I would like you to do is you are going to create 6 boxes. With those 6 boxes, we're going to cover 6 ways to create the illusion of space. So I'm going to zoom out here. Okay, and I'm going to create those 6 boxes. So just going to leave some space up here at the top, and you want to leave some space for writing for the boxes also. So here we go. I'm going to just draw a line straight across. You would be doing this in your sketchbook, and then going roughly down the middle, estimate where the middle is. You're going to make a line down the middle, and then creating 3 boxes. So where it is, I'll just divide this maybe right here, and then I'm going to go straight across. So again, space, space. We're just going to write space up here. Space. As a matter of fact, I'm going to change my pen because I like a little bit thicker pens when I'm doing this kind of stuff. So let's see what do I have in this little. Oh, I can't find my point. My 08. My 08 is my favorite pen. This is just the right amount of thickness. Up there you are. So space. And again, you are going to be putting this inside your sketchbook, okay? So please don't, I'm doing it on a piece of paper because I do this about 6 times sometimes when I do it for class. So space. I'm going to put the element of space is used to create the illusion of depth. Okay. And also I wanted to note that artists use several techniques to create the illusion of depth within two-dimensional work. Okay. So you're welcome to write that, artists. Several techniques to create the illusion of depth within two-dimensional artwork. Okay, the first of those is overlap. All right, overlap right here. You can do the summary right here if you like. Wherever, overlap. I'm gonna write that right here. Oh, let's just do this straight across. And yes, I'm going to use my ruler. And I'm going to do that over here too. Just a little area for the definition of what we're covering. Okay, overlap. Let's zoom this puppy in. Okay. Clean that up. It's messy and ugly. Okay, so overlap is shapes in the distance will be overlapped by shapes that are closer. Okay, so I'm going to write that here. Shapes in the distance will be overlapped by shapes that are closer. Okay, so the perfect example of that is we're just going to use circles or spheres. So start with one circle. Then you're going to create a circle behind that circle. And then you're going to create a circle behind that circle. Okay, and then of course you're going to create your horizon line that goes behind it. That is overlap. Okay, then we have, of course, shading. Okay, and shading, adding shading and shadows to two-dimensional shapes can make them appear three-dimensional. So just note that. Adding shading and shadows can make objects appear three-dimensional. Let's just say 3D. Okay, so again, you're going to you start with a circle, and you're going to go ahead and create that three-dimensionality. We're going to pretend that the light source is coming from over here. So I'm going to create my shading over here. I'm going to do some hatching. Doing my horizon line, and then underneath I'm going to create a shadow. that's being cast by this sphere. Now sphere. Made it 3D with my shadows. So that is shading. Okay, then we're going to go into placement. Placement is also very key. Placement, so objects that are farther away are placed closer to the horizon line. Okay, so again, objects that are farther away are placed closer to the horizon line. So the horizon line being over here, you would have multiple circles. Okay, you would have the shading. I'm just going to do very quick shading in here. And the shadow that's being cast by the circles there, and that's regarding placement. Then you have size. So size is also a really big deal, and that creates the illusion. So objects that are far away appear smaller. Objects that are close to the viewer appear larger. So be really clear. Objects that are far away appear smaller. And objects that are close to the viewer appear larger. So, using that in size, we're going to imagine that this circle right here is the closest to the viewer. Then we have another circle that is smaller, and as it goes further back, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, creating the illusion that all of these then created spheres. I'm gonna use this, now I can use my number 5, are going back in space. Okay, so size is really a key indicator for creating space. Okay, because you're creating that illusion that something is going farther back. I'm creating my little shadows. Creating my little shadows here. Okay, and there we go. And then we have 2 more, and I'm going to pause this right now for a quick pause. Okay, we're resuming. So the last 2 are, there's value and focus, and then linear perspective. So value and focus, I'm putting right here, value and focus, is in regards to like the lightness and darkness of the line and the actual object. So objects that are far away appear, objects that are far away appear lighter in color, and less clear than objects that are close, okay? So kind of like in photography where when it goes back further, it blurs out. Value and focus has that. So I'm going to write it right here. It's going to be a little bit smaller because I have to fit a lot of stuff in there. So again, it is, I'm going to write with my little small pen, objects that are far away appear lighter in color and less clear than objects that are close. Okay, so how I'm going to illustrate that is I'm going to use my pen to illustrate the darkest sphere up close. Okay, and then I'm going to use my pencil. So again, creating shadow and okay, here we go. Then I'm going back and I'm creating another one. I'm using a pencil this time. Ideally, maybe I should have done it all in pencil, but it's okay. And shadow. Then we have another one that's going back. And then further back, going lighter. And going back. And then back farther from that. Okay? Creating that illusion. So that is for value and focus. Then we're going to move on to our last one in space and the illusion of depth is linear perspective, my favorite linear perspective, which uses actually basically all of these concepts, okay? Placement, shading, size, value and focus, and overlap, all right? So linear perspective. And with perspective, depth can be created through the use of one vanishing point, aka one point perspective. Oh, it can be created, sorry. Created. Can be created through the use of one vanishing point. AKA one point perspective. There's also 1 point, and there's also 2 point, which is a more advanced level perspective. Okay, squeeze that in there. Ah, okay, hopefully you saw that. All right, so here we go. And with that, I'm going to create some line using my pencil, of course. So I'll create a horizon line. Okay, so this is just examples. And then I'm going to do a dot right here, which is going to be the vanishing point. Then I'm going to create lines that come out in a V format, okay? All going to the vanishing point, okay? So there we go. And I'm going to start with my largest sphere right here. sphere, then another sphere, another one, another one. Super duper inky dinky, right? And then I'm going to create my shading, right? Adding to make the object appear 3D. And there we go. You can see that. So I'm going to unzoom so you guys can, or zoom out so you can see that this is what your paper should look like in your sketchbook. All right. Thank you for following me. And have a wonderful day.